Unit 9 opened his eyes for the first time inside a cold metal chamber. Bright lights burned above him, and strange alien faces stared down at him with mocking smiles. He did not know his name, he did not know his purpose. He only knew one thing: he was human. The Valka scientists surrounding him laughed as he tried to stand. To them, he was nothing more than a weak human experiment, a prototype made for testing. They called him slow, useless, a failed creation. They recorded every movement, every breath, waiting for him to break. Unit 9 felt fear at first, but inside that fear was a spark he did not understand. Something deep in his blood whispered that he was built for more. But the aliens only saw a fragile creature that barely deserved to exist. Outside the lab window, the Valka Empire stretched across the sky like a giant machine. Endless towers, glowing ships, and cold metallic structures showed how powerful they were. No one in the galaxy dared challenge them, especially not humans. Humans were considered extinct, destroyed long ago by the same empire that now laughed at the prototype standing before them. Unit 9 did not know this yet, but the truth waited inside his memories like a sleeping storm. The scientists forced him through tests all day, lifting weights, running tracks, reacting to flashing lights. He failed many of them, and each time he fell, the aliens laughed harder. Pathetic creature, one scientist said. The humans were always weak, but something strange happened during the 10th test. A small explosion echoed somewhere in the facility, shaking the walls. Everyone turned in panic. Except Unit 9, he felt the vibration through his bones, and a memory awakened. A voice inside his mind spoke softly. Earth remembers you. Unit 9 did not understand, but the message made his heart beat faster. Suddenly he felt stronger, more aware, more alive. When the scientists ordered him back into his chamber, he refused. It shocked them, because no prototype had ever disobeyed. Not once. Security guards entered with weapons, thinking it was an easy job to drag a human back inside. But when they touched him, something ancient triggered inside Unit 9's instincts. His movement became fast and sharp, almost impossible for a human body. With only 3 strikes, he took down the guards, leaving the scientists speechless. Their laughter vanished, their eyes filled with fear. Unit 9 stepped backward, confused by his own strength. He had not been trained, but his body reacted like it remembered 1,000 years of survival. He heard more guards running toward the lab, heavy footsteps echoing across the metal floor. Unit 9 had a choice: stay and die, or run and discover why he felt a voice from Earth calling him. He ran, breaking through the lab doors, into the massive alien city. Sirens began to scream across the empire. Drones shot into the sky searching for him. The Valka soldiers laughed no longer. They now hunted him like a threat. As Unit 9 ran across a bridge of glowing metal, he saw flashes of memories. Humans standing strong, humans fighting, humans falling. He saw Earth burning, but he also saw something else: hope. A final message echoed again inside his mind, louder than before. Earth did not die. Earth is waiting. Unit 9 stopped running for a moment, staring at the endless alien towers around him. He was only a prototype, a weak imitation in the eyes of the Empire. But inside his heart, something powerful awakened. Something the Empire never expected. Something they feared without realizing it. A human spirit, and it was coming back to life. Unit 9 ran through the metallic streets of the Valka city, his heart thundering like a machine about to break. Every sound felt sharper, every light brighter, every movement faster than before. It was as if something inside him had finally switched on, something the Valka never planned for. Drones circled overhead, scanning the streets with red beams, searching for the escaped prototype. Alarms echoed between skyscrapers taller than mountains. Valka citizens rushed indoors, afraid of whatever the Empire was hunting. Their fear told Unit 9 one thing: he was becoming dangerous. He turned a corner and hid behind a stack of metal crates. Breathing heavily, his mind kept replaying the same message: Earth remembers you. But he did not know what it meant. He did not even know if Earth still existed. Unit 9 looked down at his hands, still shaking from the fight in the lab. Those movements were not normal. He had reacted too quickly, too perfectly, like his body remembered a skill he had never learned. He wondered if humans were really as weak as the Valka said, or if the Empire had always feared something hidden inside human DNA. Lights flickered, and a large shadow appeared in front of him. A Valka enforcer stepped out of the darkness, armored in obsidian metal, holding an energy spear crackling with blue fire. The alien growled in his deep mechanical voice. "Surrender, prototype." Unit 9 did not move. Something inside him whispered a warning. The enforcer charged forward with a roar. Unit 9's vision blurred for a moment, then sharpened into perfect focus. He dodged the spear with unnatural speed and struck the enforcer's chest. The impact sent the huge alien crashing into a wall. Shocked by the strength of a fragile human, Unit 9 stared at his hands again in disbelief. He was changing, evolving, growing stronger every minute. He moved deeper into the city, avoiding patrols and security drones. The air smelled like burning metal and cold wind. Every step took him further from the lab and closer to a truth the Empire had tried to hide. Inside a dark alley, he found a broken storage unit filled with stolen artifacts. Human technology, human tools, human books, all taken from Earth before the Empire claimed the planet. His chest tightened as he placed his hand on an old Earth soldier's helmet. A memory flashed in his mind. Humans fighting, humans defending, humans refusing to kneel before the Empire. He saw flames, screams, and the sky turning red. He saw Earth collapsing, but he also saw courage. Unit 9 realized the Empire had lied. Humans were not weak. Humans were strong enough to make the Valkyr fear them for centuries. That was why they erased humanity. That was why they kept Earth's memory locked away. Suddenly, the ground shook as heavy footsteps approached the alley. A team of elite hunters appeared, their armor glowing with shifting colors. These were not simple guards. These were the Empire's finest killers. Unit 9 grabbed a metal rod from the storage unit and held it like a weapon. The hunters laughed at him, confident in their strength. But when they attacked, Unit 9 moved faster than before. Every strike became sharper, every dodge more exact. He fought like someone carrying 1,000 years of human instinct. And for the first time in their history, the hunters failed. They retreated in fear, whispering the same phrase again and again. The prototype evolves. Unit 9 stood alone in the alley. Breathing deeply, he was no longer running out of fear. He was running toward answers, toward the truth. The Empire thought he was only a failed experiment. But Unit 9 now understood something powerful. He carried the last spark of humanity in his blood, and that spark was waking up. The Valkyr Empire had never lost a battle to a human. So when news spread that a single human prototype had defeated elite hunters, the entire Empire shook with disbelief. High towers flickered with warning lights, and war sirens echoed over the metallic horizon. Every citizen felt the fear rising in the air, the fear of something they thought was extinct. In the core command chamber, Lord Sir, the Empire's strongest commander, stood before the council. He was tall, armored in obsidian plates, and known for destroying entire planets without mercy. He studied the hologram of Unit 9 with cold, ruthless eyes. "This human must be eliminated," he growled. "He carries something dangerous." The council agreed with trembling voices. To them, Unit 9 was not a simple escapee. He was a mistake, a human spark that should never have been allowed to live. Meanwhile, Unit 9 moved through the dark underlevels of the city, searching for answers hidden in the shadows. He followed fragments of memories that came to him like broken pieces of a forgotten life. A burning sky, a falling earth, a promise whispered in the flames. Humanity will rise again. Unit 9 reached an abandoned hangar filled with old machinery and broken ships. He scanned every corner, hoping to find something that connected him to his past. What he found instead made his blood run cold. Rows of human clone pods lined up like silent graves, hundreds of them, all empty, all used. Each pod had a label: Earth sample, human DNA, experiment failed. Unit 9 felt a deep pain inside him, not physical but emotional. The Empire had not only destroyed Earth, they had stolen its people, used their bodies, used their DNA, turned them into experiments. A sudden mechanical growl echoed behind him. Unit 9 turned just in time to see a squad of heavy armored hunters entering the hangar, their weapons charged with crackling energy. This time they did not laugh. This time they looked at him with fear. Before they attacked, a massive hologram lit up above them. Lord Syraxis appeared, his voice echoing through the entire hangar. "Human prototype, you will die today. You carry something that belongs to the Empire." Unit 9 clenched his fists, feeling heat rise in his veins. "I carry what you tried to destroy," he whispered to himself. The hunters moved in fast, surrounding him from all sides. Their armor glowed, their weapons charged, but Unit 9 was faster, stronger, awake. He dodged their shots with precise movements, each step guided by instinct he never learned. His strikes landed like thunder, shattering armor and sending hunters crashing into walls. But for every hunter he defeated, two more arrived. They came from the left, the right, above, surrounding him like a cage of glowing metal. Unitine fought until the ground was covered with broken armor and silent machines. But then everything changed. A heavy thud shook the air. Lord Syraxis landed in front of him, the ground cracking under his weight. Unit 9 felt the pressure of his presence like a wave of fire. Syraxis was stronger than any enemy he had faced. His armor was alive with shifting patterns, and his eyes glowed like dying stars. "You should not exist," Syraxis said calmly. "You are a failed creature of a dead world." Unit 9 lifted his head, breathing hard. "No," he said softly, "I am what you fear." Syraxis attacked with the speed of a storm, swinging a massive energy blade that cut through metal like paper. Unit 9 barely dodged the first strike, and the second grazed his shoulder, sending sparks flying. Their battle shook the entire hangar, each clash sending shockwaves through steel walls. Syraxis was powerful, but Unit 9 fought with something the commander did not understand. Will, memory, human instinct. For the first time in centuries, the Empire witnessed something impossible, a human standing against their strongest commander and refusing to fall. The fight ended with both of them separated by collapsing debris. Syraxis pulled back, furious and wounded. Unit 9 stood alone, breathing heavily, surrounded by ruins and broken metal. The Empire now understood the truth. The prototype was not a failure, he was a beginning. Unit 9 moved through the lower tunnels of the Valka city with heavy steps. His body was tired, bruised, and burning with pain. But something deeper pushed him forward, something older than the Empire, something human. The battle with Lord Syraxis replayed in his mind like a broken recording. Syraxis was stronger, faster, and crueler than any enemy Unit 9 had faced. But during the fight, something had awakened inside him, a hidden code rising like fire in his veins, a code the Empire never knew existed. Unit 9 stopped beside a cracked metal wall and placed his hand on it. The metal responded with a soft pulse of light. Machines around him hummed as if recognizing him. He did not understand how, but he felt a connection, a link between his DNA and the Empire's technology. A whisper echoed in his mind again. Earth did not fall. Earth adapted. Earth left you a weapon. Before he could think more, the tunnel lights turned red. A deep alarm echoed through the underground, shaking the entire structure. The Empire was activating its strongest defense program. They were preparing for a war against a single human. Unit 9 kept moving until he reached a massive chamber hidden under the city. In the center stood a gigantic machine shaped like a glowing metallic heart. Energy flowed in thick streams across the walls, forming patterns like ancient symbols. The moment Unit 9 entered the chamber, the machine awakened. Blue light flared from its core like a sun rising in darkness. The symbols on the walls lit up one by one, forming a path straight toward him. Unit 9 felt the energy pulling him closer, calling him. He stepped forward slowly. Every part of his body vibrated as if the machine recognized him. Then the chamber echoed with a powerful voice, a voice recorded long before humans fell. Annihilation code detected. Human authority recognized. Final protocol unlocked. Unit 9 froze, breath shaking. He did not know what the annihilation code was, but the Empire did, and they feared it more than anything else. Suddenly, heavy footsteps thundered behind him. Lord Syraxis entered the chamber with an army of armored soldiers at his back. The moment Syraxis saw the glowing machine, his eyes filled with shock and rage. "Step away," human Syraxis roared. "That machine belongs to the Valka Empire." Unit 9 turned slowly, breathing deeply. "No," he said, his voice steady and cold. "It belongs to Earth." Syraxis charged with a scream of fury. His blade ignited with violet fire as he leaped toward. But before the weapon struck, the machine reacted. A wave of energy exploded from the core, lifting Unit 9 into the air. Symbols wrapped around his body like threads of light. His eyes glowed bright white. The chamber shook like a living beast, awakening from a 1,000-year sleep. Syraxis stumbled backward in fear. Even his soldiers hesitated, unsure if they should fight or run. A new voice echoed from the machine, sharper and louder than before. Annihilation code fully activated. Human weapon restored. Empire termination authorized. Unit 9's body felt lighter than air, stronger than steel. His heartbeat synced with the machine. his mind flooded with memories of Earth's its history, its wars, its fall, and its final creation. Humans had built the Annihilation Code as their last hope, a weapon hidden inside human DNA, a weapon the Empire never discovered until now. Energy burst from Unit 9's hands like lightning. Valka's soldiers were thrown across the chamber like metal dolls. Saraxis raised his blade desperately, but the energy tore through it like paper. For the first time, the unstoppable commander looked afraid. Unit 9 stepped forward, glowing with the power of an entire lost civilization. "You tried to erase Earth," he said quietly, "but Earth left its revenge inside me." The chamber filled with a storm of crackling energy, shaking the city above. This was no longer a simple battle. This was the beginning of the Empire's end. The battle above Earth did not slow down. It only grew louder, brighter, and heavier. Solar spears slammed into the massive engines of the Imperial dreadship, cutting power lines and breaking the armored spine of the vessel. The Empire had never seen human weapons like this. Weapons that learned, adapted, and improved on their own. Weapons that Earth once called a failed idea, but now they were destroying an empire that ruled half the galaxy. Nova stood on the command balcony of the prototype core, watching every explosion in the sky with sharp focus. "It is time," she whispered. An echo responded with a soft metallic hum. The core began to shift, walls folding, lights tightening, the entire chamber preparing for its final mode. The solar spears outside paused mid-attack, as if listening to her heartbeat, and then started forming a giant ring around the dying dreadship. Across the galaxy, Imperial officers panicked. "Earth units are forming a super pattern," one commander shouted. "Stop them before," but the order never finished. The prototype core released a shockwave of white energy, gentle at first, like a pulse of air, then growing into a roaring spiral. The ring of solar spears caught the spiral and amplified it, turning one pulse into thousands, turning light into a blade sharper than anything the Empire had ever created. The dreadship split in half, clean as glass, its burning pieces falling into the dark like broken stars. For a moment, everything went quiet. The Empire's fleet stopped firing. Stunned into silence, Nova looked at the sky with calm eyes. "This is what they called weak," she said. "This is what they laughed at." The solar spears returned to her side, ready for the next command. But Nova had no desire for revenge, no hunger for destruction. Humanity wasn't here to conquer. Humanity only wanted to survive. She opened a galactic channel, her voice steady, simple, impossible to ignore. "Empire," she said, "you defeated us once. You mocked our designs. You called Earth a small world with no future." She looked at Echo, then at the glowing core around her. "But Earth learns, Earth adapts. Earth rises again, across the Empire." Billions heard her words. Soldiers, workers, rulers, everyone stopped to listen. "We did not want this war," Nova continued. "But if you come for us again, if you try to crush our home, then remember what you saw today." The scattered Imperial ships retreated, slowly at first, then desperately, like prey fleeing from a predator they never knew existed. Nova watched them run, but she did not celebrate. She only exhaled softly. "It is over," Echo said, its voice warm for the first time. "You saved them." Nova placed her hand on the glowing surface of the prototype core. "No," she said, "humanity saved itself." The solar spears began drifting down toward Earth, returning like loyal guardians after a long hunt, their golden light reflecting off the clouds. People cheered across every continent as they saw the glowing swarm return. They did not know what Nova went through. They only knew they were safe again. Nova closed the communication channels, the battle screens, and the alarms. "Echo," she said gently, "let's go home." The prototype core folded inward, turning into a smooth sphere of white and gold, surrounding Nova like a protective shell, then slowly descending toward Earth. Behind her, the remains of the dreadship drifted into silence, a dead monument to an empire's arrogance. Earth's failed prototype had become the galaxy's greatest warning, and humanity's greatest weapon, and for the first time in many years, the future looked bright, not just for Earth, but for anyone who had ever been underestimated, because Nova had proven one simple truth: humans fight hardest when they are told they cannot win, and somewhere deep in the void, the Empire finally understood that truth to end.